Hello, everybody. This is Mike McCormack, and I have a very special guest that I'll be speaking with today. These days I hear cries for an inspiring woman. I know I sure could use an inspiring woman. So if you want an inspiring woman, I've got one for you. Not only is she a survivor of the film business, she survived stunts in films and TV series such as Charlie's Angels, Airwolf, Airport 77, Jaws 2, Cujo, and she's also a veteran of the Star Trek films and the top shelf, as far as I'm concerned, in the stunt business, the James Bond series. In fact, she survived car chases, fires, falls, fights, horses. She's been chased by lions. She's been attacked by mechanical sharks. So I must ask, Jean Coulter, how are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thanks, Mike.
Well, that's great. Well, of course, I'm going to ask you till I'm blue in the face about Jaws 2. I've probably watched you be attacked, I don't know, untold many times. And I think it's a great sequence. It's an iconic sequence. It's referenced in the movie poster. And I think it's an iconic scene in the Jaws series. I don't know if you're aware of that, but it is. And I think
people have told me that.
Yeah,
because it's in the beginning. It really gets you in the beginning of the movie. So.
It does.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're the Chrissy, the iconic Chrissy attack at the beginning of the first Jaws. You're kind of in that role there. And
yes.
I always like what what you're trying to do, or what I always thought was cool is you take the gas canister and you throw it at the shark, and what have you got? Well, here's a flare gun. So you're essentially trying to do what Roy Scheider did at the end of the first Jaws, shooting the air tank. You're using what you got. You got a gas tank in it, but it just doesn't work. It's just not working out. And in a panic state like that, which you played so well, sure, what would you be doing in that situation with so much, with this giant shark, and you've got, you're going to panic.
You don't have time to think about it, right? But to grab that gas can, you know how heavy those things are. It was metal, and it was full. Mm-hmm. So for me picking it up, I really almost dropped it behind me, not in front of me, because it was so darn heavy. And until some of the water came out where I could, level it out, where I could push it forward. But that was a challenge. It was, very fast. I tore my knee up on that show because my foot got caught in one of the boards in the boat. So when that boat turned sideways, my foot got caught in it. So, but no, it was fast and furious, and you don't have time to think about anything. It just happens,
Right.
So
and what's great about it is, which we don't get so much these days, is everything that's happening on screen is real. And this is a real object that's attacking you, this mechanical shark. And was it frightening to see that shark? Did you ever get into the moment and really feel like you were being attacked? Or
sure. That's part of acting, That's part of acting, is knowing the shark's real, knowing you could be killed. So that's just part of acting, yes. You get yourself into that. Just like when you do a crime scene, you really get yourself into it. You really feel whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're referring to when you're doing that acting job of emotional stress. You remember those times that you've been in that situation, and you bring it up into your job. So, yes, it's different, but it works. I never thought I was a good actress. I didn't want to do acting because I said I'm terrible. But when I got the part on Jaws, I think they interviewed 5,000 women for it. So they interviewed all over the world. And I was just lucky, you know, but I'm very emotional, so I was able to do the interview in front of this lady, Miss Fields, I believe it was. She was a big wig at Universal. And she
Verna
just
Fields.
loved me. Yeah, she was so sweet to me. And she says, you're great. She said, you're great. So they called me up the next day and said, you're going to work. And I had already contracted to do another, and I had to tell the other show I couldn't do it. So, because Jaws was much bigger than the show I was doing. So
Sure.
I was, you know, really wanted to do Jaws.
So they basically took you out into the ocean with a boat prop. I guess was the boat anchored that you were on, or on any type of a winch, or?
No, not really. We had the down, but and it didn't really move. You know, there were boats around, but not close, because we were shooting in the ocean, so you couldn't see anybody. We had to keep them out of the view sight. So, no, it was different working that way because you don't have safety close by. The only thing I could do is jump in the ocean, you know, to put my fire out. Yeah,
Wow.
So that, you know, it was interesting the way we set it up. We needed, of course, special effects close by, but they couldn't be because they would be in the view of the camera. So somehow it all worked, you know.
Oh, it definitely worked, and they definitely picked the right person for the job.
Thanks.
Your boat was tied down, and then we have this mechanical shark, and were they literally just ramming the boat with the shark?
Yes. In fact, the night before, somebody moved the boat where we had practiced with the shark and everything, where it hit the boat perfect. Somebody moved the boat, so the boat was further away. So the shark, or it was closer, it was closer. The shark, when he hit the boat, it picked the boat and almost turned it over with me in it. It went all the way up on its side and then fell down again, but I almost went over in the boat. It was crazy. Just because somebody had moved the boat.
I mean, you can really see that in the movie. Like you were about to tip over at one point, right before you pick up the gas can.
Yeah,
so,
there were a couple of times.
Something else. Now, what did the shark? Did the shark look like a real shark? Was it threatening to look at, or were you scared of it at all?
No. No, I wasn't. It was kind of phony looking, you know, but when you see it on film, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Right. But no, in person, the eye didn't look real to me. And at first I started laughing, and I had to do a crying scene. I was laughing, and I had to change my attitude really fast, but it was funny to me. And, yeah.
Well,
it
definitely looks. It had to be surreal to find yourself making a sequel to Jaws, knowing what a big movie that was, and being there on that boat with that shark, and just knowing you're going to be in a sequel to one of the biggest moneymakers of all time. That had to have been a surreal experience. And do you have any memories of? Did you meet like Roy Scheider or Lorraine Gary? Any of those folks?
Oh, of course. Yeah, they were great. Yeah, Roy Scheider was always on the beach tanning and stuff, and he was great. He was nice. No, we had, we all stayed in the same hotel out in Vera Beach, I believe it was, and I don't think the hotel's there anymore. It was on an island. I think it was Hawaii in a hurricane.
Yes.
But we all stayed there.
It was on Navarro Beach, and
yes.
Apparently it got wiped out. But So, but Roy Scheider, personally, just because maybe it's because I've just seen him kill so many sharks, but he was in so many other great movies, like All That Jazz.
Oh yeah, he was great. Yeah.
French Connection, and
oh yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the 7 Ups, which is kind of a spin-off of the French Connection. But if you're interested in stunts, that movie has what I think is the best car chase on film. It's something else.
Oh, better than Bullet?
I think it's from the same people that made Bullet, the same production company.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to send you that. There's a clip of it on YouTube. I want you to watch it.
Thank you.
It is something else. You'll dig it. But Roy Scheider,
I'd love to see it.
I got to speak with him a few times on the phone, and we talked on the phone quite a bit there. He was a wonderfully nice man to me. But I understood, from what I understand, he did not want to make that movie because it was kind of sequels were frowned upon back then. But any memories about Roy Scheider, anything in particular that you could share about
he was
him
just
on
a
Jaws
nice
2?
man. Yeah, he was just a nice man. I didn't do a lot of shots with him, because mine was just separate. So when I did scene that was at the hotel we were staying at, we were all there together. So everybody, would go down and have breakfast in the hotel restaurant, and so we'd all talk. And no, he was a very nice man. I remember he had asked us all out to dinner one night. We couldn't go because we worked late, but no, he was just very nice to everybody. There was no problems or anything, and he was kind of cute. It was cute. He was always tanning with the silver thing, outside tanning on the beach.
Oh, yes.
He lived for the sun. He really loved it, so it was fun.
He apparently picked that up on the first Jaws. But yes, real quick, just the reason that I was asking is just like the things I've read, and I guess there's been a lot sensationalized about why he didn't want to do that movie, and they make it sound like he was just awful on set. But it sounds like it sounds like he was a gentleman.
No, he was a true professional. Yes, people that are your age, they talk to me and they say, when I was a little kid, I wouldn't get in the bathtub because I remember your scene and I was afraid. So people write me into those things. It's so funny.
Oh, goodness. They do, but it's true. And Jaws 2 is, I don't see how you can't like Jaws 2 if you like the first Jaws. Those other 2 sequels were a little wobbly, of course, but Jaws 2, back in the day, I remember thinking of that like I'd think of Empire Strikes Back or something. It was a big movie, and and that scene that you're in is kind of in the forefront of your mind as far as my memory of that movie. Of course, and then you got the Roy hanging on the wire at the end, but it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Michael.
Well, it's an honor to talk to you, and you take care.
Thanks. You too. Bye, Michael.
Thanks. Bye, Jean.